Aaron Whitlow,
Craig Williams.
and we're the Swoot Squad. We're here live in Louisville.
Well, I'm not the Swoot Squad.
But he's an honorary member of Swoot.
Right.
Today we are actually, we watched a movie called Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop.
His real name is Joe Marshall. They call him Samurai. He speaks fluent Japanese. He got his martial arts training from the masters in Japan.
It's it's kind of getting a cult following in terms of bad movies. It's up there along with the likes of Troll 2 and The Room.
And maybe even possibly Miami Connection. So.
Miami Connection, very good. That's also a really good bad movie. So yeah, we watched Samurai Cop last night.
What's the plot?
Well, okay, the movie, the plot, what there is of it, is about this cop from this guy named Joe. I think his name is Joe Marshall or whatever, but everyone nicknamed him Samurai, only because he knows Japanese and he spent time in Japan training in martial arts, and so that everyone nicknamed him Samurai. And
he happens to be a cop.
He's a cop, and he gets transferred from San Diego or something to L.A. to help fight the Yakuza, the Japanese Yakuza. And the movie just kind of abruptly starts with him and his partner chasing a van that looks like a
kidnapper's van. Also,
a kidnapper's van. It looks like a van for Hollywood Video back when they were out.
and almost very reminiscent of the A-Team's vehicle, but blue.
Yeah, it kind of has the same make as the A-Team's van. They just chase this van, and the whole movie is basically just them threatening the main leader of the Japanese Yakuza that he's going to take them down, and then the leader very obviously trying to kill them.
Right. And
there's a scene where he goes to the leader's to a restaurant where the main bad guy is eating with all his thugs, and Robert Zadar plays his henchman, his main henchman.
You know him from Maniac Cop fame, by the way.
Right. Maniac Cop. He was also in some Mystery Science Theater movies. He was in
of course.
Soul. He was in oh god, he was in so many movies. Anyway, so they're eating dinner. Samurai Cop threatens to take them down, and then the moment they leave, they're in the parking lot of this restaurant.
Yes.
And Robert Zadar walks outside and then sends 4 guys to kill them in this parking lot.
Yeah.
With guns and grenades.
And then it goes bad from there because then Robert Zadar starts shooting he shoots his henchman. This is his mindset, because early in this movie I want to point out that he is sent to kill one of his henchmen who could possibly tell.
Oh, that's a classic scene. Yeah. We skipped right over that.
And so he goes to kill, and that's what kind of gets him into this whole picture thing. And so the whole thing with the Yakuza is no witnesses, no one to tell.
Right.
And so, and mind you, the police officer is in the parking lot. Both of them are sitting there talking, and the henchman came out and they're trying to fight him, and the henchman's getting shot and killed or whatnot. And Robert Zadar starts shooting the henchman because he doesn't want them to snitch.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to get arrested and be able to give information about their operations.
But he's shooting them in front of the cops. He's not shooting at the cops. He's going systematically and starts killing his henchmen.
He tries to kill the cops too, though, but they're hiding behind a car at this point, and he's just firing. It's very. The movie makes it clear that he's killing them on the henchmen on purpose, the thugs, and then he has grenades suddenly. It's so crazy, and one guy, what's so crazy about the scene is they're in the whole point of the scene when they're in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be one of those scenes you see in these types of movies where the main bad guy is just you can't prove a thing. you've got nothing on me, and if you keep coming after me, I'm going to sue you, that kind of thing.
And that's what he says, actually.
Yeah, and then like the cop, was just like, oh, well, we'll find something eventually, and like
stick, blah blah blah,
and we'll make it stick, and then like, so the whole point of that scene was just to be kind of like, well, you can't, bad guy to be like, well, you can't prove anything, so good luck, and then like, so they, but that becomes completely pointless the moment they leave, and his henchman tries to murder them. Right there, like they could have after they got away, they could have just come back to the restaurant and be like, okay, now you're under arrest for the attempted murder.
We have arrest warrants for every single one of you.
Yeah, and we've called backup because you fired on 2 cops.
And another thing in this movie that's hilarious actually is the fact that there's this police chief, and the police chief at one point in the movie towards the end of it, he says. You yet to provide any evidence to make anything stick. If no charges, you keep killing the victim. You keep killing the hitman. So I can't bring nobody up on charges.
Yeah, you haven't brought anyone in yet to for me to bring up on charges.
So you keep killing them. Blah blah blah. You cost us money. So I need you to go out and kill everybody.
Well, he was just like, he was like, you haven't brought anyone in. Now I'm in trouble. I'm about to lose my job. So I want you to go out and just kill all of them.
It makes no sense. And then also going back to the restaurant thing, of course you could bring Amal up on charges immediately. Like the movie should have ended like right there.
Right.
Okay, obviously you sent them to kill me. Right. Now I guess the boss guy could be like, hey, I didn't have no part in sending the henchman out, but obviously you sent the henchman out. Right. But oh my goodness.
The thing to have done. And if you were going to do a scene like that where they're attacked right after they confront the main bad guy, Robert Z'Dar's character should have been in the shadows. Like his character should have been just like watching the confrontation between the cops and the main bad guy, and not getting involved, so that there's no connection between him and the bad guy. And then like after the cops leave, the main bad guy could be like getting up to leave, and he makes like he gives a look to Robert Z'Dar's character hiding in the shadows, and then that's when he attacks the cops. Right. So there's no real.
I agree.
It's just coincidental that they got attacked right after that, instead of you're the guys who were literally sitting at your dinner table just tried to murder us after we threatened to take you down. But like
speaking of coincidental, me and Ken, we earlier on our channel we did clones of Bruce Lee, and there's this famous scene where they used the same hallway in the shot. And in this movie, there is a scene very similar with what's the game that's in the background? Destroyer, not asteroids, but
Destroy. Yeah, Destroyer. I think was in the background or something.
But he Samurai Cop does this little jump through this room, chasing a bad guy, and then they cut to the next scene like immediately, and obviously. The bad guy's right here, and then I guess they in ADR in post production they did not put in this the effect of this gun.
Oh, they had this guy's firing an empty gun at Samurai Cop, and you just hear it clicking, and like he's reacting as if he shot, like he's cocking, like his arm reacts as if he shot something. It's like click, click, click. I think he just gets a couple clicks in, but it's very clear,
and you can hear it. It's just
there was supposed to be a gunshot sound effect that he shot at Samurai Cop, but they didn't put it in. So it's just like click, click, and then Samurai Cop shoots him.
Yeah, shoots him.
And during this scene, there's like no sense of space. Like I have no idea how this house is laid out. They're running through random rooms. It's very obvious that it's like 3 separate houses that they filmed the interiors of.
And then there's this one Asian dude that is. It's not racist, but it's what he is. But anyway, he's like the under henchman, if you will, of if Zadar is the
main henchman.
This guy is the under henchman,
right?
And so this guy, he finally runs out of fight, and he's like, fight me like a man, Samurai Cop. And so
Samurai Cop chases him into a dead end, which is
like in where the house is, where you clearly see parts of the house.
Yeah.
Right here.
He chases him into basically a dead end, and so this guy is just like throws his gun down. He's just like, "Why don't you fight me like a man, samurai cop?" And like, so samurai cop. Well, he didn't say. I don't know if he said samurai cop, but anyway, he was like, "Why don't you fight me like a man?" He does call him samurai because they know about his martial arts background, and like, and then so samurai cop's like, "Sure," or whatever. Like he's like, "All right, let's do it," and like suddenly,
all of Power Rangers.
But suddenly they're like, not in the dead end, like the little alcove they were in earlier. They're in a big wide open field fighting.
Nowhere connected to the property at all,
Right.
really. It's just like, and it really reminded me of like whenever in Power Rangers, whenever like the Rangers were gonna morph and fight like the bad guys, they always would end up in the field.
Right.
Like they had that designated field
Right.
to do all their combat, and that's exactly what happened here. It's like in the field and they're fighting, and oh my goodness,
It's the same field that he has his showdown with Robert Zadar later.
it is man. That's so true.
They probably filmed it on the same day.
And in this fight, actually, the main character's wig, because he cut his hair after post production.
Yeah, what happened was they got done filming. They were finished filming. And then, so the main actor, Matt Hannon, his agent told him to cut his hair because at the time there was apparently too many actors with that sort of style of haircut. Like the Fabio look was really in back then. And so he cut his hair to do some auditions. And then 3 or 4 months later, which is a pretty reasonable, long enough time to not expect this call.
Right.
The director of Samurai Cop, Amir, I can't remember, Shervin, I think his last name is. He calls Matt Hannon in to come to his office, and he shows up and he's like, "What the hell happened to your hair? Like, we have some more scenes we need to film." And so by more scenes. The scenes that he's wearing a wig in, these are all scenes that should have been done in the first round of...
Right.
Like, these are, like, critical... I mean, there's a fight sequence, for God's sake.
Right.
And he wears this, like, this wig on. Like, you know, and there's all these scenes that connect... That he's wearing this wig, and these scenes, like, sort of connect all the other scenes together. So it's like, how did you not think in the first place to film these scenes when you did your first round of filming? You know what I mean? Like...
In the wig, just like...
It's very obviously.
It's like,
a wig.
it came off. You know?
It looks like a lady's wig.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's so bad. But in this movie, what is your favorite moment in this movie?
Probably the moment that got me interested in the movie in the first place. Me and everyone else, anyone else who's ever heard of Samurai Cop will usually cite this scene as their favorite moment because it was probably the first scene they were exposed to. But it's called the horny nurse scene. You can find it on YouTube. Just search Samurai Cop horny nurse. That's where I discovered it, and it's a scene where like after they're visiting that one guy that burned. At the beginning of the movie, they chased this van that we talked about, and the last guy in the van, like the van crashes and he gets set on fire.
Badly. He's like, "Hey guys, put me out."
You can tell. There's a moment where he actually looks up at them while they're putting him out. Like, you know, he's like, "Are you guys?" You can tell he's like, "Are you putting me out? Like, are you putting me out? Am I out yet?" Like, you can tell. And so they're visiting him in the hospital, and he's too badly burned to give them any information. And they walk outside of the hospital room. And the nurse, who has never met these characters before, just some random nurse that
not even important to the whole plot of the movie at all.
Never shows up again. Not a love interest, nothing. She just was tending to this person. They walk outside. Now, I'm guessing the point of the scene was to establish that Samurai Cop is a ladies' man, I guess. Right. Like, that the ladies love him because, you know, we immediately see...
But we already established that with the whole... the Ali Larder lookalike.
Yeah, he has a sex scene with the Peggy, the girl cop, as they call her later.
Yes.
Like she's the only female cop in the United States.
Yeah.
And they're like Peggy, the girl cop. He has a sex scene with her at the beginning of the movie, so they sort of use that to establish that he's a ladies' man. Mm-hmm. But I guess they felt the need to do it again. I don't know why they did this, but like he walks outside of the hospital room. and I'm sure you'll probably just show this scene, but the nurse just starts flirting with them in the most overt way possible. It's almost like an alien. Like it's like it reminds me of like some. It reminds me of like the kind of the way an alien would flirt in Star Trek when they're trying to figure out human. They're trying to figure out human nature.
Like Species, actually.
Yeah. It's kind of like Species. Where it's just like they walk outside and she's like, "Do you like what you see?"
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
And he's just like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Do you want to touch what you see?" And he's like, "Of course I do." And then she's like, and then she goes, "Do you want to fuck me?" And then now throughout this whole thing, he's exchanging looks with his partner. It just keeps cutting to his partner's expressions, and his partner is like making the weirdest expressions. He's
like this.
yeah, yeah. Now the reason that his expressions are so weird, by the way, is because like they would call, from what I understand, like they would call that guy in a lot for pickup shots. Like the director would just basically call him to his office and be like, okay, we just need to get a shot of you looking surprised. And they would really have no context. He would just be like, okay. Is that good? Is that good? Okay, all right, thanks.
That's so great. That's great to know, and that makes so much sense.
But like she says that, and then she grabs his crotch and was like, "Well,
there's nothing there.
There's nothing there." He's like, "Nothing there," and she's just like, "You must have your doc." She's like, "Are you circumcised? Because your doctor must have cut too much off." And his response is, "No, he was a good doctor." Oh man. My god, it's just you gotta go find.
You gotta watch that clip, and my favorite part in this in the movie, you already kind of alluded to it, is when I don't even know this guy's connection to the whole plot of things, but they go into his house with his girlfriend and him there. And and this guy, and
some random cop.
One of the henchmen looks like John Carpenter too.
Yeah,
wearing like a blue jean denim outfit. But anyway, just they go into his house. He's like, no, don't kill my girlfriend or wife. Don't kill her. Blah 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 blah. I give you anyone. I give you this guy, that guy, or I give you Peggy, the female cop, the girl cop.
The girl cop.
Yeah, and it was just so random. Like what?
Well, here's the thing, though. It's random because also we don't know who the hell this guy is. They're looking for Samurai Cop. Like Robin Zadar has taken some thugs to try to figure out where he can find Samurai Cop, which is weird because at the beginning of the movie he seems to know everything about Samurai Cop. Like he's explaining to the main bad guy who he is. Like his name is Joe something. He was in Japan. He was giving him a whole background check, and it's not like his address is super secret. Like he's not in the witness protection program. So I don't know why they have to go and like torture or kill his known associates to figure out where he is.
Why is this guy a known associate? I have no idea.
Yeah, well, you see him a few times in the movie, but they never do any. They never establish his character at all. He's just like some random cop that's like they cut to every now and then for no reason.
Like just staring, like
just staring, like disapprovingly sometimes. Yeah. He's not like the chief or
no, he's not the chief at all.
And so they don't establish who this guy is, and like so Robin Zadar shows up, and they're like, I don't even know, like his house is so weird looking because there's like this big. He's just working out. He's just like pumping some weights, and I think his wife or girlfriend or daughter or whoever it is just like just chilling, just watching or something. Mm-hmm. And like he's got a whole panel wood wall full of like
medals and
like plaques.
Yeah,
it looks like a bowling alley or something, like a bowling alley wall. Like
it looks like a karate studio back when you go to like take karate classes and they show like the accolades of that institution. On the wall.
So we weren't sure if they were still if they were at the station. They were at the police station or at the house.
Are they at the station right now?
Yeah. Did they just show up at the police station and kill some people?
And they had they had at this point they had like didn't they have like a multiple amount of like henchmen? Like that you like where did these guys come from?
All their henchmen were great because all the
big fat dude, the big black dude.
Yeah.
There's this one scene where this black dude he gets
That's
shot.
the end of the
he's
movie.
like.
He just like keeps walking,
Yeah,
and he's
but
getting shot multiple times.
It's like he was falling, but he didn't want to fall.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hurt himself, so he's like. And that's how he
Most
went
of the
down.
guys would get shot, and their reactions would be almost as if like they weren't sure if they were supposed to die or
my
not.
goodness.
Like they would get shot, and they would be like, do I keep, do I keep shooting?
The dude on the
okay,
stairwell.
I'm dead. That's right.
The dude on the stairwell.
Yeah. There was that one big black guy at the end of the movie where they're at that farm or whatever, and he was just walking, but he was trying to take cover behind these really skinny trees, and like he's not even like running between cover. He's like just kind of moseying along between cover, and then finally he gets shot, and he's just like and he's just like, then like he gets shot again, and he just keeps that kind of reaction to it,
and he's biting his bottom lip like.
yeah.
Like, what? And there's this. Oh man! Speaking of the last scene, all right. So Zadar has a shotgun, and he's going to this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man! I cannot forget this. So his henchmen, they are at this farm cabin thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why there's a false wall.
Oh yeah, there's a false wall.
And then like just
But there's a door there.
The henchmen, boosh, and you see the door clearly like open.
Yeah, it's clearly a doorway.
It's like poof, and it rose.
Yeah.
But then like Rob Zadar, he's walking and they shooting at him with a shotgun, and you think they're not that far from one another, so he's shooting at a shotgun. But then when he finally like, hey, let's just fight, and then they walking and you can see, okay, they were far away from one another.
Yeah.
They were nowhere near. So this man with a shotgun is doing nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
the one of the many bad things about the directing style of Amir Shervin is he has no idea how to establish space, where everyone is, where everyone is going,
Lighting,
where everyone is. Lighting is terrible.
Lighting, crop,
terrible framing.
He'll have a shot of just a face, and you're like,
Right.
what?
This will be cut out, and this will be cut out, and it's just a face talking.
And he loves this one specific lion head that
Yeah.
he's
The main
centered
bad
a
guy.
whole conversation around a lion head.
At the main bad guy's office. This is his, which we don't even realize
I didn't even
what
realize
that is.
I didn't realize that was what
until
that
he
was.
shows up, until he comes out of his office, and
I didn't even realize that was in the same location or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, but
the main bad guy has this lion head
So
hanging
dumb.
up that he has prominently featured in every shot he can.
I
And
want
it's
you
like
to-
a toy lion head. It's really weird.
I want you to take his head, bring me his head, and put it on this piano right here.
I will, and then like Robert Zadara says, I will find him and I will take his head and I will put it on your piano. But like I had to really just touch on the thugs that they used in this movie. I wish they had trading cards.
Oh man,
Because it was such. That was part of the fun of this movie. Was just the random thugs and what they looked like, their appearance, the way they acted when they got shot.
the wigs they wore.
There was one guy with the baseball bat or whatever, and he was like, I'll take, like Samurai Cop. They're attacking Samurai Cop, and he's like, I'll take care of this, and he gets the baseball bat, and he just does this, like he's doing some sort of fancy. Like he's doing some sort of fancy kung fu moves but he's just doing this, and of course Samurai Cop just kicks him in the balls.
And takes a bat and beats him with it.
Yeah.
And then there's that one guy that had. It reminded me of that one guy that had the samurai sword.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Fight me, samurai!" Or whatever. He got the sword. And I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty impressive." And then his partner,
Matt Hannon actually does some pretty impressive stuff with his sword.
and then his partner shoots the other guy. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about where he gets the sword from.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wanted to fight him. And man, he's like he's coming out ready to fight.
Yeah.
And the guy had a sword. And his partner's like, "Don't do it." And then he just keep walking up. His partner just
Boom! Just shoots the guy with the sword, and Samurai Cop looks kind of annoyed. Now that could have been a really great scene, like it could have been a funny scene, but the problem with all these scenes that this guy tries to do is like I feel like he doesn't understand what makes that scene funny, and so he doesn't understand how to like have the actors sell it better.
Right.
And it's obviously sort of ripping off Raiders of the Lost Ark, and
man,
yeah, like
you can just name the stuff this movie ripped off. One, Lethal Weapon. Any action movie that you can think of.
Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the right movie.
No, it is.
Okay.
I thought Michael Winslow was in it. No, yes, no, it would have been funny if he was the partner act. By the way.
Yeah.
But what do you give this movie as far as like rewatchability? Would you want?
I could watch it multiple times.
I'll
find something new. That's the only thing about these movies. This movie, you would find something new each time you watch it.
I would give it definitely a show and tell. I would love to own it and actually show people this movie because it's bad, but there's bad, but then there's good bad. This is actually falls in the category of good bad. It's not hard or cringing to watch.
Right. It's not like a chore. It's not. Here's the thing. It's like I've always felt like when it comes to movies, whether they are good or bad, my main issue is like if they're boring. Like there's good movies that are just boring, and then there are bad movies that are just boring.
Like The English Patient.
Right.
No, that's not a good movie.
I've never seen it, but like I that seems like the kind of movie I'm talking about. It's good. It wins all these Oscars. But when you watch it, it is boring as hell. There are movies that are bad and they're boring. So like, what sets Samurai Cop apart is that it's nothing if not entertaining. Like there are things you just do not know what's going to happen next. You don't know. There are things that happen that
it's just so random in this movie.
That are so random and make no sense. And like, when you think you know what's going to happen in the movie, it does kind of give you sort of like a total out of left field thing. Like when they're getting dressed down by their chief, for example. He's just he's doing the usual thing you see in all these movies, where he's yelling at them. He's like, "You guys are about to get suspended. You're killing everybody," and blah 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 blah. Like he's dressing them down.
You asked me to get this guy in here from San Diego, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and he's doing nothing. And then, like, out of nowhere, like, he sits down, and then out of nowhere, like, the black partner, like, kisses him on the head. And runs away.
And you're like, wow, you...
and he gets up, and he's like, you son of a bitch!
And he stays frozen.
He stays frozen because he thinks that the director is going to cut, and he doesn't.
And so he just sits down and starts busting out laughing.
He just starts laughing.
And stays in the movie.
Yeah, and it doesn't get cut from the movie. And it's just like, it's stuff like that happens throughout the whole movie. You'll be watching an action sequence. I mean, there was literally an action sequence where Samurai Cop had to fight his way out of he was at some sort of film development company or something. Like he was watching... Like, he was like in an editing bay or something, watching a film with this guy that looked like, like an angry Walt Disney or whatever. And he had like a really, really, really badly dubbed voice. Like, he was just like,
"Oh, and the director,
that's a warning bell." Like, that's it. And like, when the bad guys come to kill Samurai Cop, so he fights his way out of that building, somehow ends up on the roof of the building. And then he's like in the alleyway fighting his way out of there. And like he is still shooting and being shot at when it cuts with no warning. It just cuts to a sex scene between Robert Zadar and the redheaded bad guy, the girl, the femme fatale, a scene that nobody ever wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And it does that multiple times in this movie.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Asian dude was like, and then the Asian dude was like getting it on with some chick.
Yeah.
And then like,
oh yeah,
he's like, is this the right house? Yeah. And then he's like, freeze! You're under arrest.
And he's trying to open the sliding door.
And it's like, really that I think the door got stuck in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like couldn't open it, and they just kept it in there. But it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's hilarious, man. Oh my! I like this movie. I actually liked it. I dug it, man.
There's so many weird things that happen in the movie like that. Remember when they Robert Zadar and his thugs are going to Peggy the girl cop's house to like ask her where Samurai Cop is, and she's cooking something. You can't even tell what she's pretending to. It's just grease apparently. Grease. Hot grease she's cooking.
For no reason.
And she has her back turned to her like kitchen window, and like all three of these guys are like crowded into her window, just looking at her. And they're big guys too.
And she's totally at a place where you can see these guys clearly at your window.
I mean, if anything, you could see suddenly the shadow falling all of you, like blocking your window from these guys. Not trying, and all of this is in broad. We made a point when we were watching the movie. We pointed out everything is in broad daylight. All this stuff is shot, and the reason probably is because it's more expensive to shoot at night because you have to use like lights and
All I can say is I absolutely love the movie. You should check it out. We watched it on Amazon.
Yeah, you can rent it on Amazon Digital. Or buy it on Amazon Digital. I actually bought a DVD copy for it's only you just go in usually for about $10, which is that's a reasonable price to pay.
You bought it
like
on
this.
Amazon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Blu-ray is being released at the end of the month, but that's the asking price for that right now is $40. So I would wait. I love this movie, but don't pay $40 for it.
And really, no need to get it on Blu-ray. If you have a PS3 or something like that, it will take a regular DVD and make it HD. So
Although, if you do get it on Blu-ray, you can see the documentary about the making of it, and
that might be worth.
And a commentary with Matt Hannon.
You will not be disappointed if you spend your money on this movie. You will be disappointed if you spend your money on Clones of Bruce Lee. So, hey, I'm Aaron Whitlow.
I'm Craig Williams.
We thank you for watching.